former Prime Minister Deoba and his wife were roughed up by the mob. And this, Anjali, as you were pointing out, shows the level of frustration that's rising on the streets of Nepal and continues, that anger continues to boil over. The fact that the parliament building was set on fire is extremely distressing.
Absolutely. And we have these visuals coming in right now. Take a look at that. This is the big breaking news coming in right now from Nepal. The former Nepal Prime Minister Deoba and his wife were roughed up by the mob. You can see them on the screens. A former Prime Minister injured with blood spilling down his clothes. He has been a 4-time Nepalese Prime Minister and his wife is also a serving minister. This is quite shocking as you see Sher Bahadur Deoba in this condition. His wife, Arju Deoba, is actually the current foreign minister right now. So what we are seeing on the screens is the anger that has now resulted in physical injuries to the people who belong to the political class. You know, Gaurav, the problem is that the political class has enjoyed almost a sense of royalty in Nepal for a very long time, you know, and they've enjoyed the power, they've enjoyed the money as well. And this is why when something like this happens, that a revolution comes forth, then people are not able to rein in their emotions and then incidents like this happen. Not that we are justifying violence, but this is the reason that, you know, a long-term approach needs to be kept in mind when governments and political class are working to create a nation.
That was the entire effort, you know, when after monarchy there was a transition to democracy in Nepal, that they're able to bring together a constitution that will give equal rights to all. However, you know, when as some analysts in Nepal argue, professional protesters overnight became leaders, took reins of power, and it became a musical chairs of sort. One prime minister would go out, the other would come in, but the same 3, 4, 5 faces would end up becoming ministers and prime ministers in Nepal. And right now, there's a coalition of the right and the left coming together, and their sole motive was to remain in power. Now, when this kind of attitude develops in a country and only a select few enjoy all the privileges and perks and what comes with power, it's the common people of Nepal who are suffering. And finally, they said enough is enough. When post-COVID, when jobs anyway were at an all-time low, people were earning at least some money through social media platforms. That too was shut down. Now, a large number of Nepalese, they also work overseas and they remain in touch with their families through these social media platforms.